Hello there, I'm Catherine Allen. I'm an intuitive channel, an astrologer, and author of 2 books, the third one coming out in the fall. And I am a spiritual coach. So what I want to do is give you the vibe of the month, generally for all of us, and maybe a few specific messages that come through to me about what might be coming. Now, I did these messages 2 days ago. It's currently Thursday, May 30th, and it is a historic day because former President Trump, has been convicted of all 34 counts. So now the drama really begins. I'm just getting flooded with all kinds of things. I'll weigh in on that later. Right now, I just want to first bring to you the overall vibes that I'm getting for the month of June. So how do I do this? I focus on the month and the year, just June 2024, over and over again, and I see, and the images start to come, the messages start to come, and then I specifically ask my spirit guides, is there anything else that we need to know? So the first thing that I got very strongly was that there's a real change in direction for everybody. Obviously, we can see in the news there's a huge direction change for Mr. Trump, and there'll be a big direction change for anybody outraged or supporting him, anybody happy. Like, this is a game-changing event that can change lots of people's course, but despite that, that's just confirmation. A lot of us will be feeling the need to change direction in June, and it's probably something overdue that you've been wanting to either let go of or walk towards, implement, say no to, take a step back from, dive in deeper, explore. June feels like the month that you're going to actually do that, to act on it. And if you're hesitating, then I would, encourage you to act on it in the month of June, if it's safe for you. Obviously, not everybody's in a position to jump into everything that they think of all at once. There's all kinds of things that come into play: your health, your finances, how it affects other people. However, if you are in a position to move your life forward by either announcing something that you want to do or don't want to do anymore, something you want to change in your work, something you want to change in your social scene, anything you've been thinking of doing for a while, and you're ready, go for it, act on it. There's so many Gemini planets right now. There's going to be, on the new moon on June 6th, there's going to be 5 planets in Gemini, and that makes everybody very chameleon-like. It's good for reinventing yourself. It's good for being playful, creative. It's good for networking, lots of talking, lots of messages and emails and calls, and just probing the waters to see if this or see about that, or try this or try that. Can be great for meeting new people, adapting yourself into different groups, joining new things, dating. Gemini can be a very flirty time. You don't have to all be flirting, but it helps when there's playfulness and lightness and charm in the air. Helps us all break out of our shells. So it is an excellent time to move something forward and change direction. For some people, the directionality is going to be, minor adjustments, and other people it's going to be something really big that the decision could really alter the course of your next chapter of your life, in a longer term way. So that is in the air. The next thing I heard that's a general message for us all is there's a lot of inner tension that's been building up. And I think there's going to be a lot of release in June. Many people want to just blame it on the seasons. Well, it's spring, it's summer. Well, no, it's deeper than that. There's been an enormous buildup of tension. I would say you could say during the pandemic, you could say that we're in this post-traumatic stress pandemic world. And last year, 2023 in particular, was quite unnerving because a lot of us could feel the timeline shift, the 3D, 5D split. We could feel a lot of things unraveling. We felt, you feel very lost, many people, and very anxious. And this year, change is really taking root. We don't always know what it's going to look like yet, but something has been more grounded again. And this is why it can be a good time to take some decisions to move things forward. But otherwise, the buildup of tension is palpable inside us, right? Now, we all know what that can look like. You might have a huge emotional release and you just feel, oh, I'm so glad I did this now. I'm so glad I talked to somebody. Please talk to people if you need to. Please find an ear, a shoulder, a therapist, someone to tell, to relieve yourself if you're having difficult emotions, dark thoughts. Please reach out to people, okay? There's been too much buildup of keeping it to yourself and being isolated in the last few years for sure. And so the release can be a wonderful thing. It can be a purge. It can be letting go of emotions, letting go of stuff. Moving forward with decision making brings clarity, brings like physical relief even. For others, the tension buildup is going to come out as outbursts. And especially if things are politically volatile, we're going to see more outburst-like behavior, which we all know. I don't need to spell it out for you. So we just want to be careful of that in yourself and people that are around you, of this tension buildup and release. Another theme that I got was there is a need to up your self-care and your fitness. Self-care is reaching out and talking, is not holding things in forever. It is exercising, it's moving your body, it's eating right, it's asking for help when you need it, it's joining something and making sure you're not isolated, it's taking care of your bills, it's making sure that you've had your dental checkups. You know what I'm saying? Self-care, 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 self-care. Self-care is self-love. The only way out of low moods, low self-esteem, anxiety, and confusion, if ever you're just completely lost, you don't know what the heck to do, think, say, decide, self-care. Go back to the basics of self-care. Sleep. Sleep. Rest. Find a beautiful nature environment like I'm in. Sit by some water. Get in a pool, if that's what you like. Eat well. Clean up your diet. Less junk food, less smokes, less alcohol, less weed, whatever you're doing. Not to judge, but just detoxing a bit, cleansing a bit. Yes, you feel more emotional when you do that, when you rest, when you detox. That's the point. You've got to release what's been building up inside with self-care and with movement and exercise. The other thing that's important for the release and the self-care is to play, be playful. You need to be playful. This counteracts anxiety and grief and doom and despair and all the, by whatever fear. This is what counteracts it. Excuse me, itchy ears. Got bugs outside here in this little park. Being playful. So go to the dollar store, get something in the kids section. Do a coloring book. Play with some kids if you have access to your own kids, nieces, nephews, neighborhood kids, babysit for someone, I don't care. if you don't have access, look at the little kids running around, look at their wonder. You know, you can always sit somewhere in public where there's kids and what. Just look at their joy, discovering the world. You need something playful to remind you that it's all right to let down your guard, that you are safe. So play games, play board games, do something with art, do something with music. It's important to be playful, to release all of this inner buildup and the creativity that it leads to, and the bonding that it can lead to is wonderful. So there's a couple of other messages that I got for June as well. So I did write down here, and I mean, I can't prove it to you that I wrote this 2 days ago, before this conviction, but I wrote down here that there are leadership changes intensifying. And what I felt was leadership in the UK is going to ramp up. It doesn't mean that Sunak is gone this month, but I feel a lot more scrutiny and pressure on him. I also feel a lot more escalated scrutiny on Trudeau and leadership changes there. Doesn't mean it happens in June, just means pressure is upping. And I also heard the Netherlands for some reason, which honestly I don't pay attention to the politics of the Netherlands, but that came through to me as another potential place where it's ramping up. The other thing that I got strongly for the month of June was heat waves. We already had one here in North America, and I'm in the Eastern time zone. We already had one pretty strong one a week ago. I think we're going to see more heat waves, so prepare yourself. Prepare yourself with air conditioning if you can. If not, think about a backup plan place where you can go if you need to cool off and you can't at home. Think about your pets and your little kids. Think about having extra stuff around to cool down and cool off. Yeah, I think we're going to see a very, very hot summer. And the last thing I got was volunteer work. I don't feel this is, again, something that's going to just suddenly presto change in June. But it is a message of something that I get that's coming over the next few months of time as an increase in volunteer work. It's needed, and B, I think people are also looking for ways to give back and to connect to their community and to feel like they're a part of something again. And it might be a great time as part of your changes, as part of the buildup of I've got to do something else. Consider it. Consider what you could do to volunteer or give back or create a service, create something new that has been needed for a long time in your local community, or for a select group of people that you identify with. Think about something you could volunteer and give back with. If you would like your own channeled reading, your own messages, or a tarot, clairvoyance reading, astrology, please contact me below the video or at Catherine@river-rain.com, and I'll be happy to help you. All right. Have a good month.